Hello and welcome to Madison LaSalle's Pre-K Literacy Centers. The first center is Digging for Letters. Hello and welcome to the Digging for Letters Center, where we will focus on sensory and literacy skills and learning. This center goes with the Pre-K guideline. Child recognizes and names at least 20 letters, upper and lowercase letters. Objective is students will identify and name letters of the alphabet by locating and matching buried letters in a sensory bin, reinforcing letter recognition through touch and visual association. The materials needed are a large bin or tub. Today, we'll be using kinetic sand in 4 different colors for 4 different places and a table. You could also use dry rice or beans as your sensory base. You'll need plastic letters or foam letters, uppercase and lowercase. You'll also need an alphabet mat, like this, or alphabet cards for matching. Optional, you could use small brushes or scoops or even spoons to help dig for your letters. And the instructions are use your hands or tools to dig through the sensory bin to find hidden letters. We'll open up our letter bin and get to digging. The kinetic sand is super interesting and fun to play with. And let's see. When you find a letter, say its name and sound out the letter. P, 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 P. Next, you'll match the letter to the correct space on your alphabet mat or letter card. P, 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 P. P. Finally, you'll keep digging until you found all the letters. Each bin should contain the entire alphabet. I, I. A, A. Cleanup is pretty simple. Students can just take their letters, place them back in the bin, and if they have any kinetic sand that's come out, they could just dump it right back in. And it's very easy to pick up. And you'll just place the cover back on. And that is the Digging for Letters Center. To evaluate students' work during their Digging for Letters Center, you'll want to make sure that students are correctly identifying the letter that they have dug up from their sensory bin. And from there, if they've identified it correctly, are they sounding out that letter properly and placing it on the corresponding letter on their letter mat? This will give you a good idea of where the student is and if they need any targeted support. To evaluate The following slide shows the instructions for digging for letters. First, the student will dig for a letter. Second, they will say the letter out loud and its sound. And finally, they will match that letter with the corresponding place on their letter placemat. This is a general instruction because these instructions can go with any placemat or any materials. So this could be versatile for your center. Hello and welcome to the Apple Detective Center. Here we'll be focusing on literacy. With the pre-K guidelines, child recognizes and names at least 20 letters, upper or lowercase letters. In the objective, students will independently identify and match letters by locating a tiny letter hidden on their individual apple card and finding the corresponding large letter on the apple tree. Let's look at our materials. You'll need an apple tree poster with large letters on each apple, like this. You'll also need individual apple cards with tiny letters hidden inside. You'll need transparent red or green counters or multicolors. And you'll also need magnifying glasses. Small baskets or trays for apple cards is incredibly beneficial. And here, each tray is color coordinated for every part. Your magnifying glass, the tray, and even your counter holder. Let's look at the instructions. First, you'll pick an apple card from your baskets. Choose a new one. Next, you'll use your magnifying glass to carefully find the tiny letter hidden in your card. Let's take a look. Next, you'll look at your apple tree and find the matching large letter. Here we have our K. I'm looking. K. And I'll take a counter and place it on my K. You'll repeat until all letters on your apple tree card are found on the tree. And then you'll return your materials to the basket when finished. So you should have the entire alphabet on your apple tree, and you could just place these cards off to the side once they've been used. And this is super fun and interactive for kids. And it's super exciting when they find their letter and they can see it and they identify that that's an X. Wow. So they want to show you, and it's just so much fun. It's so interactive and exciting and memorable. And that is our Apple Detective Center. The instructions for our Alphabet Detective placemat is to take a apple card, find the tiny letter with your magnifying glass, and then go over to your apple tree placemat. You'll want to find the corresponding letter on that apple tree and place a transparent counter on that letter. From there, you will continue to find all of the letters in your apple cards and then place each counter. The entire alphabet should be located on their apple tree card and their apple tree placemat, and you'll want to check or evaluate students' ability to work on this independently and correctly identify each letter, say its sound, and then place a counter on the correct letter. Hello and welcome to Letter Fishing. This center is literacy focused and has the pre-K guidelines. Child recognizes and names at least 20 letters, upper or lowercase letters. For our objective, students will independently identify and match letters by fishing for magnetic letters and placing them in the corresponding slots on their alphabet bin. For materials, you'll need a small bucket or a tray. Here we have our color coordinated tray, bowl, and magnetic wand. You'll need magnetic letters, uppercase or lowercase. Here we have lowercase, and if you have uppercase, you'll need to have uppercase magnetic letters. The entire alphabet is in our bin, and that will change your placemat as well to uppercase. You could do this with sensory materials. You could use kinetic sands, textured fluff, or rice to fill the bucket where you place your magnetic letters. And you could use, there are magnetic fishing rods, but I could not find it, so we've adapted our center here due to that. But this still works great because you'll use your magnetic wand, which is our next material needed. And you'll also need your letter placemat where you'll identify which letter you've picked off of your magnetic wands. Optional material, you could use tweezers for fine motor practice. And the instructions are: choose a fishing rod and bucket or a bowl with your magnetic wand. You'll use the fishing rod or magnetic wand to catch one letter at a time. That can't really work, so we'll just choose randomly from our magnetic wand, and we will identify the letter caught by saying its name aloud. I. I. You'll place the letter into the matching slot in the alphabet placemat. Here's my letter I. You will repeat until all letters in the bucket have been fished and sorted. A. The entire placemat has every letter, and every letter in the alphabet also is located in my bowl. As for evaluation, you will observe if students correctly identify each letter. Listen for accurate verbal naming of letters and sounding out, and note independence and whether students can complete the task without support. Check that letters are placed in the correct slot of the alphabet placemat. And that is our Fishing for Letters Center. Our last center instruction is for fishing for letters. The first step is to fish for your letter from your bin. Next, take that letter, say it out loud, sound it out, and then find that letter on its corresponding place